Okay, now that we have the brows, again, we'll just double check the brows. And they look pretty good, not too bad. And then now what we want to work on is the eyes. The eye, basically the blink. So we just want to make sure. So as we select these guys, just going to go to my Paint Skin Weights tool, right click on this joint right here, select Influence, and there doesn't look like there's any influence going on right there. Nothing to this eyelid. So actually I'm going to select all three of these and just put a value of 0 and just flood that. And then also do the bottom eyelids as well. Just flood those three with 0. And that way I have a little bit more control over this. So once we select this one, what I want to actually do is, I believe, let's see here. So I'm assuming that that got sent to the actual head joint, which it looks like it did. So I'm going to invert, so lock inverse selection on that one, and then I just want to make sure, so lower eyelid is actually getting quite a bit of that as well, and so from this one I'm going to flood 0% on that and just go back to the head, and so that looks like that got a majority of the top of that. And then let's see, the top left upper eyelid, I want to grab all this and flood this all to the head as well. So lock the lower, unlock the upper eyelid, and then send the rest to the head. So with that, if we go back to the head, that should be almost 100% going to those. So now with that, as we can see that that's basically 100% around the eyelid, which looks exactly how we want it to. And so with the top eyelid, let's see, actually I'm going to lock that, unlock this guy, and go flood to the top, flood to the head, and this one. So I shouldn't have, actually, I'm gonna flood and then go to this one and flood this one as well. So there's nothing going to any of these, and so this one we can actually say lock inverse selection. So now we do want to take from the head, so we're going to unlock the head and then go to the left top eyelid, and I will actually do a let's do add, and then say let's go with a 1, and then we'll just basically flood that eyelid. Well, we don't want to flood so much, so I'm going to just undo those two, and we'll actually just make a value of 0.25, and then that way we'll paint those in. So I'll put them about at a 5, which should be okay. And then this, actually I want to unlock these. And so put that at about a 5. And then here I'm probably going to take from here and just do a 0.25, and then so now I can lock the top 01, and then so the top eyelid 3 I can actually take from here and just do a 0.25 right here. I'll probably just add one more to there. So this is just kind of a base, throwing in a base in here real quickly just to take a look. And so we'll go to the lower eyelid, and so the bottom does have, so actually I'm going to right click on that and say lock inverse selection, unlock inverse, lock inverse, so we want that guy unlocked, so that should throw a lock on everything else. And then we want to unlock the head and just do an overall flood of 0 on left bottom eyelid. Okay, looks like I'm getting something somewhere else. Is it on the low? Nope. So we should be able to actually replace and flood that. Whoops. So we'll want to flood, and then go to the bottom, flood, and so hopefully we didn't shoot anything over there. We didn't. So we can lock those two, and then select this one and just flood that. And then so bottom eyelid, we can go to add, and then 0.25, and then zoom into this eye. And so we want to just put a little bit here, and I'll put a little bit here as well. Oh, whoops. Undo that, and I just want that one unlocked. So left bottom eyelid and the head are the only two that are currently unlocked. And so I can just throw a little bit here, and then go to left bottom eyelid. I'm going to actually unlock all 3 of these. And so, and then for 3, I'm just going to paint this into here, and probably just add a touch here. Okay, so for this left bottom eyelid 03, I'm actually going to add a 0.1 value, actually 0.05, and then paint this into this corner just a little bit, and then I want to grab just a little bit from here, and then also soften this just a little bit. And then so left bottom eyelid, just going to add, take a little bit from here, and just soften that, and then go to the left bottom, and so I'll probably grab a little bit from here, just so it's just subtle on that. And so I'll just lock all these and lock the head. So now I have everything. So everything is currently locked. We just go scroll down. All right. So with that, I will go to Q. And so with the facial, I just want to kind of grab these. So I just want to see what this actually is doing. So as we close that, probably want to So what I want to do is, with that rotation selected, I I'm going to go to the Paint Skin Weights tool again, and I want to select the head joint. So we'll go to the head, unlock that, and we just want to add because, let's see. So I'm just going to undo, 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 and I want to unlock the left upper eyelids, and so the head is still selected. So I'm just kind of bringing that eyelid up a little bit. So just so it's not completely. All right, so, and then also I want to go to my left top middle, and I'm going to just continue to add here just to get a softer. Okay, and then left eyelid 3. Just going to paint a little bit onto this just to pull this down a little bit more. And with 3 actually still selected, I can continue to just paint this down a little bit more. Okay, so with 2, just paint this down. Just kind of softening this. This may need another span, which I will probably add. Let's see here. So with 1 selected, just pushing that down just a little bit. So with that eyelid, it's not looking too bad. So I will actually just lock all that and then go to 1 and not 1, actually I hit Q, and then I will go to my lower eyelid, which is right. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So we just want to zero that out. And then also just hit 6. So I'm just kind of looking over that. And from the, we'll select the bottom eyelid. I'm just going to rotate that up. Alright, and then from here I will actually select, so Q, and then back to the mesh, and Paint Skin Weights tool, and the head should currently be unlocked, and then what I want to do is unlock the bottom eyelids, so all 3 will unlock those, and then we will go to the head, which is selected, and we'll just add, just to pull these down, pull this down a little bit. So, like so, this just kind of smooths this a little bit better. And then we will go down to left bottom eyelid. We'll put a little bit more here, maybe a little more there. We'll probably add another span here as well, just to kind of clean some of this up. So with 1, I'm just adding a little bit more here, and then with 3, we'll just push this up a little bit. Yeah, it looks like I need a little bit more geometry to cover that eye. And then we will remove, so place a 0 here, and just get rid of this stuff here. Okay, so with the, I just want to make sure, so hit Q again, and the left bottom eyelid is not too bad. It's still pretty, it's soft enough that looks okay. Just grabbing that, just doing a rotation just to look. Okay, and then the upper, actually I'm just going to rotate that down again. Alright, so just going to zero this out and then do another rotation on X. Okay, so I'm getting just a little weirdness. Okay, with this vert right here, and I want, so just I'm going to grab 5. So I want this, just looking to see where that vertex is actually getting affected. So if I go to vertex mode, select that one. So I want this vert actually being affected by almost the same as, so if I hit 5, if I go back to, oops, so F8, go to my left eyelid controller again, zero that out, and so I want, this should show me my, so if I go to, whoops, this guy, five, so this, actually I'll copy this vertex weight and then go to this one and paste just to make sure that they're the same, and select this, whoops, select this vertex, copy the weight, and go to the one right underneath and paste, because I want them to be the same, and then go to 6 and F8. Just make sure I'm in object mode, and from here, clean that up, that eyelid. I do want to push this lid up a little bit more, so with that I'll select the Paint Skin Weights tool and go to the head, which is unlocked, and the top eyelid I want to unlock. So top eyelid, unlock that, and go to my add, and then 0.05, and here just going to soften this eyelid up just a little bit, just to kind of round it out there. Okay. Alright, so now what I want to actually do is, so go to the actual head and lock inverse selection, which should lock, oh, because, okay, so with the head, and then we will lock inverse selection and say unlock selected, because we want that head joint. We also want to bring our bottom eyelid control and set that to 0. Okay, so select the head mesh, paint skin weights tool, and with the head still selected, we should be able to go to reveal selected. And then what we want to do is uncheck the left bottom eyelid, the left top eyelid, and then we also want to uncheck right bottom eyelid and right top eyelid. Okay, and now with that, we should be able to do a mirror selection. And hopefully that should. Oh, one thing that we may have to do, yes, so going to unlock inverse, lock inverse. So this guy and the head. Yeah, let's check and see what happened here. I tried to do a pretty good job for the most part. This one, okay, looks like our eyelid got, eyeball actually got attached as well, so we don't want that. So what we need to do is go to Paint Skin Weights tool and go to our head and unlock and lock inverse, and then uncheck this just to make sure that the head is the only one that's unlocked, and then go to right lower eyelid and right eyeball, and then I just want to flood this, replace with this with 0, and then lock this guy, and then go to right upper eyelid, and I want to uncheck that, flood that, lock that, and then from the right eyeball, okay, that should, yes, that should put that guy all to, so if I go to here, select all the vertices, go to the Paint Skin Weights tool, and the only thing I have selected is or unlocked is the head and the right eyeball, and we're going to flood this to 100%, which is what we want. And so now if we hit Q, and then we're in texture mode, and now we can just double check that. Looks right. Okay, and we can select the eyeball. We should be able to rotate. Perfect. This one. Perfect. All right, now we'll move to the cheeks.